Welcome, everybody, to Crossing High School in beautiful Georgetown, Kentucky for tonight's Jersey Mike's Classic. It's been an all-day affair here at GCHS. We've got ourselves a boys varsity doubleheader, 2 for the price of 1, coming at you tonight, starting at 5:45, about 5 minutes from now, when the Scott County Cardinals, with a record of 2-0, going up against the Louisville Eastern Eagles. They are also perfect with a win out of the chute, 1-0. It's going to be a good one. Scott County's been impressive. Their first 2-0 start since the 18-19 season when they won their third of 4 consecutive 11th region championships. This is a team that went on the road and defeated East Jessamine convincingly in the opener for the second year in a row, and then had a good win over Wolfe County by double digits on Thursday night at home. They've shown, Derek Varney, that they have some weapons this year. I think the Cardinals were dependent upon the scoring of one or two guys last year, and certainly the last 2 years. COVID has been a factor, and injuries have been a factor. But this is a team that's got some depth, that's undersold and underrated, and I think they're going to step up and surprise a lot of people.
Well, and Cal, that's what we're hoping for. And talking to Coach Glenn, he's excited about this very, very experienced group. These guys used their COVID year and some of them should be freshmen in college, but they chose to come back and because the love for the program and the love for the game and Scott County basketball itself, and the 2 wins, regardless of who they are against or the competition right now. Bottom line is you're 2-0 coming into when you play a Louisville team. Even a mediocre Louisville team is a good Louisville team. So this one should be interesting and pretty good measuring stick in your third game. This is a great little classic that they're having here today. So I'm anxious to see Scott County against a little better competition tonight.
3 of those super seniors, we went during football season, we talked about how important they were on the offensive line. Here in basketball, you got Micah Glenn, who there's no secret why he took his third season, as he has been out with a knee injury for a big portion of the past 2 years. But you've also got J.Z. Middleton and you've got Nick Mosby. Mosby was the leading scorer on the team last year at just south of 18 points per game. But as we said, a lot of guys have stepped up. Lamarion McGrath had 20-something in his opener, a career high. The other night against Wolfe County, we saw a big night from Noah Gallagher, saw a big night from Daquise Brown. 6 assists, bunch of steals, double-digit score. Coach Glenn is really excited, Derek, about Daquise, having Daquise and a healthy J.Z. Middleton on the court at the same time.
There's a lot of things that you can do with those guys, and there's a lot of things you can do when you have basically 4 knockdown three-point shooters. And with Lamarion McGrath, what I understand, the way he shot the ball the other night, and Noah Gallagher, there's almost 4 to 5 three-point shooters, guys that can, not that you always advise, some of those guys to shoot the three-pointer, but he's very excited about the combinations that he can go with. He says, if I need to, if I need to press, I need to get some steals and turn the ball over. He was talking about Ellis Hughley, the great running back, the fullback. He said he comes in and he's just a ball hawk, along with Daquise Brown is unbelievable at an on-ball defender.
Tristan Christopher is another one we want to mention. He has had a great start to the season. And inside, and I think we've talked about this team not having that presence. They've had the Hamilton brothers in the past to take up that cross and carry it. But you've got Eli Moody, Lamarion McGrath have both had great games rebounding and scoring inside. Again, I think that's a category in which the Scott County team has been undersold a little bit, and they're a lot more versatile and balanced than we give them credit for.
Yes, they are, and the bottom line is you just got to go to old school basketball. You got to block out every time you're on your offensive end or defensive end. You got to put somebody on your butt, especially when you lack size like Scott County does. So I think it's going to be a thorn. But if they all, as a team, block out when the ball goes up, I think they're going to be, they'll be fine rebounding.
Eastern the other night beat Webb Dubois, one of the magnet schools in Louisville, by a solid, I think it was a 40-point margin. Their leading scorers in that one, Owen Shee, number 21, Sosthony Kemba, number 11, easy for me to say, and number 14, Sam Glass. Those are some players to look for. But they had scoring right up and down the line. I believe they had 13 guys get points for them the other night. So the Eagles, as you said, you don't want to underestimate any team that comes in from the state of Louisville.
You're exactly right. I mean, Scott County and Louisville Eastern have a pass, whether it's regular season or they've gotten after it a couple times. I remember, some particular games in the summertime that were very heated, even when Coach Hicks was there. So this should be a good physical matchup early in the season.
We're looking down the bench to get the starters for Eastern. It will be Owen Shee, Soslany Kamba, Sam Glass, the three leading scorers we mentioned from the other night, plus Andre Clark and Talon Carter. This is a team with some seniors on the roster. Shee is a senior, Glass is a senior, Clark and Carver are seniors in Kamba. So all five basically in the starting lineup. We mentioned the super seniors for Scott County. One of those has been ill. J.Z. Middleton has been battling the crud for the first part of this week. So you won't see him in the starting lineup. You will see Lamarion McGrath, a junior. Nick Mosby, one of the fifth-year seniors, along with the other, Micah Glenn. Then, of course, number 5, we mentioned those guys. Noah Gallagher, he has stepped up big time. Over offensively, his skills have really evolved over what we've seen in the past. And Daquise Brown, actually, they're going to start Christopher.
Yeah, they're
tonight.
going Christopher. I really like this kid, Cal. From the time I saw him with Meet the Cards when he was a freshman, I really saw the way he controlled himself. And, he's grown a little bit, gotten stronger. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
He is strong on the ball as well. And he can surprise you offensively. He had 11 the other night in the victory over Wolfe County. Trent Gilbert's Wolfe County Wolves. He is the head assistant there. And of course, the Scott County legend. That explains the connection to that 14th region opponent. We won't have an anthem, as this is an all-day event. As we mentioned, this is
we're just going to throw it up and get after it right here.
This is the 4th varsity game. It's the 3rd boys game. Franklin County played Brad Levy's Pineville team in the first boys contest this afternoon, and then Madison Southern with an impressive win over Greenwood out of Bowling Green.
Oh, nice. The Greenwood's usually pretty
75-57. Greenwood was very good last year. Took it to Scott County over at LCA, but that was not the case today. As Madison Southern, I think, is primed for a good year in the 11th region. Eastern wins the tap, and we are underway. Christopher on the ball against Talon Carver. Eastern, good ball movement from the right elbow. A jumper is slick and smooth from Andre Clark to put the Eagles in front.
Micah Glenn got a little lost right there coming off the screens. They got to talk on defense for people to get through. That was a wide open elbow jump shot. Good backdoor cut.
Pass on the back cut from Micah Glenn for the 2 to match.
That Cal, that's something that's set up in the huddle before they ever come out and jump. They say, our first possession, here's what we're going to do, and they scored off of it.
Tim Glenn's teams are always good at that as they force kind of an unforced turnover there as Nick Mosby and Micah Glenn with the token defense, but Eastern just throws it away. Inbounding the ball is McGrath. He is rangy at 6'4", gets it to Christopher.
Well, Christopher has matured quite a bit.
Yes, he is
wow.
bigger and stronger.
Yes, he is.
See a lot thicker and able to fight off defenders a lot easier with that frame. Now it's Mosby on the right side. Nice pass, little pick and roll inside to Gallagher. Misses the shot, didn't use the glass, and got rebounded by Sam Glass.
Good look by Mosby right there off the little screen and roll. Gallagher's got to go up, two-hand that, and go up through the rim.
And McGrath with a little touch foul on the baseline to stop the clock there. Eastern will inbound it from underneath the hoop. 6:47 to play. First quarter, 2-2. This is the beginning of a huge week, Derek.
It is, I know it.
Tuesday to Saturday, the Billy Hicks Classic presented by BGO. So we're just getting warmed up, folks. We'll have the championship game for you next Saturday as well. Foul line jumper is good by Soslany Kemba.
That was pretty smooth right there, Cal.
Brings the sauce. It's 4-2 Eagles.
Yep. Eastern's going to do exactly what Scott County does. They're going to play a sticky man-to-man. They're going to switch on the screens, and we have to beat them backdoor just as we did before.
Glenn
First possession.
Finds Mosby. Mosby loves to shoot that three. He will spin it at the arc and dish it off to Christopher. Now Christopher finds Gallagher, and they will reset the offense. 6:15 to play opening quarter. Glenn with the ball at the Warhawk logo at center court. Now drives and kicks over to the corner to Gallagher.
Really good defense.
Good half-court defense by Eastern, but a nice strong take by Christopher to the rack with the left hand.
And that's what you have to do, Cal, against this sticky man-to-man defense. You got to hit those gaps and get into the paint, and that's a walk.
Eastern with an easy travel to call there.
A little pirouette.
21, Owen Shee just took off with it. And it will go to the Cards. Second turnover early for the Eagles in this battle of the birds, so to speak.
These teams, they kind of mirror each other, Cal. You notice that?
They have a similar build and similar structure.
Right. I mean, even everybody guarding each other is about the same size. Another
Christopher,
backdoor
another
cut.
bounce pass to Mosby for the reverse layup. SC leads at 6-4.
Great cut. They're going to overplay on the wings, and they really don't have a big shot blocker underneath, Cal. You're going to have to continue to go backdoor and get into the paint.
She stops. Strong take. Another foul by McGrath. That's going to be his second quickly, and Tim Glenn's going to have to go to the bench. Saucony Kamba draws the contact. Coming in will be number 15, Eli Moody, 6'4". And he looks taller than that out there. He's a junior. He's another one that has matured physically.
Yes, he has. He's going to give you a little physicality in here, and he's a role player. He's going to hopefully go to the glass. He's got a tough defensive assignment. The kid he's guarding, as you can see, he can put it on the floor and knock down the jumper or get in the paint.
Mosby guarding Shee there, closely glued to him. Shee will have to get rid of it. Now Talon Carver. All senior starting lineup for the Eagles out of Louisville. 1-0 coming in. There's a three-point attempt from the right wing. It's off the back rim, no good. Chasing down the rebound, getting his own rebound and dishing it off. They'll get the contact underneath.
That was a little
Clark
late right
will
there.
go to the line. Sam Glass chased down the miss and rewarded for the effort.
Cal, what happened right there is we had a good defensive possession, made him take a long three, did not block out the shooter. As I spoke about in pregame there, every one of these guys, when the shot goes up, you have to find somebody and block out. And now they get a second opportunity and go the foul line.
Andre Clark with the free throw. Makes it a 6-5 game. Misses the second back rim, but a strong rebound off the glass, no good. And now
there you go.
They'll get called for the reach over Tristan Christopher, and the Cards will have it.
Cal, let's hope it's not a thorn, but as you see so far, rebounding is a little tough for Scott County.
6-5 Cards, they're on top under 3 minutes into this one. Mosby, they can't afford to get as they
call illegal right there.
Turn with the illegal screen there. Cards out rebounded Wolf County. Wolf County had one big post. Other than that, it was a sizable advantage for SC the other night, and they made the most of it. Wolf County's post, though, 13 for 14 from the field in that one. So that's a little bit alarming if you play
a team
that has some bigs, like Great Crossing, for instance. There is the drive along the baseline and the floater from Sam Glass. And Eastern's back on top 7-6, but quickly down court, SC draw the contact and go into the line will be Gallagher.
I like that. He advanced the ball up the sideline, and Gallagher went to the hole hard right there, Cal. And he's going to shoot 2 free throws. But again, gave up the baseline drive on the other end, and they have to cut that off.
We saw the importance of that quick get the ball in bounds and get down the floor when Reed Shepherd and North Laurel came in there. They are specialists at it, and it worked there for Scott County. Gallagher makes the first free throw to tie it at 7, 4:32 remaining first quarter. He makes the second as well. Another lead switch as checking in will be Daquise Brown. We mentioned he started the first couple of games and had a huge night the other night with double-digit scoring and 6 assists.
I think Daquise is still maybe trying to shake the football legs off a little bit.
He admitted that to me the other night as much. Nice little hesitation, but a miss. May have been blocked.
It was
by Gallagher,
Mosby.
And Mosby was there to get the rebound. Christopher out of control and throws it away on the baseline. Back comes Eastern. She stops right elbow, missed the jumper, but rebounded by Eastern.
Yeah, that offensive rebound.
Glass.
Killing them.
Sam Glass hitting the glass. They've had 2 or 3 of those already. Midway through the first quarter, they trail 8-7. Scott County on top. Losing the ball and off his own hands, it will go off of Clark to the Cards.
Great help right there. If you saw Micah Glenn faked as if he was not going to help, and then he did, and that's what confused the ball handler right there and caused the turnover.
8-7 Scott County with the lead and with the ball. 3:55 remaining first quarter. Daquise Brown bringing it up. The senior wide receiver on the football team, more than 20 catches.
Good pass.
Nice pass into Mosby and the easy finish for Nick.
Great set play right there, Cal. They run that perfectly when Daquise comes in and has Mosby on the block there rolling to the bucket.
Cards with their largest lead, 10-7. Back comes Eastern. Think about a 3 to tie it up. Now they will drive it. They're trapped by Glenn in the corner. Has to get rid of it. Throws it almost away. Finds his man, now knocked out of his hands by Brown. Eastern recovers and they'll reset. 3:20 to play first quarter. 10-7 Cards. Picks up the dribble, finds his man on the wing for a wild three-pointer that's rebounded by Brown. Bad miss for Shee there.
Great defense, Cal. That's
Brown
what calls that.
Bounces it ahead to Glenn, gives it back to Brown. Brown
Wow.
with the penetration. The scoop shot is good. Daquise on the board. 5-point lead for the Cardinals.
Cal, if he does that, if you see that, he knows he's not a three-point shooter, so he ball fakes, gets into the paint, and gets a nice little finger roll right there. He knows his role well, and one of his major roles is right here on the defensive end.
Guarded by Christopher is Carter. Double teamed on the post, but finding a way to get it up and in is Kemba. Nice move by the senior Eagle, 12-9. He was in double team traffic, triple team for a moment as they collapsed on him. Now Mosby finds Christopher with a left-handed three. This back rim no good. Rebounded by Eastern and Shee.
Cal, I'll be honest with you. I don't like Mosby passing up those shots.
The drive, the miss. Ball tipped around, long rebound, 3-on-1.
Nice
Came
look.
down to Brown. Christopher lost the handle, tried to tip it back to Mosby, and it's a turnover for the Cards and a bad one as they had numbers.
That's one of those you have to have. When you have the numbers, you either have to score or you got to be at the foul line.
Checking in for Scott County. Quade Miles is on the floor now for the first time today. He's a guy that, another one that's been sick that Coach Glenn is counting on a lot out of. He just hasn't been available much.
Would that be Quade or would that be Quade?
Call him whatever you want.
Right.
They call him Quade.
They call him Quade. Okay.
Like Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Yeah, you see that Louisville Eastern, when they've pounded inside and gotten into paint, they're scoring. Scott County's defense.
A little team rebound there as it went off of Eastern's hands after the miss.
And it's what Scott County wants is good hard defense and Eastern throwing up long threes.
Brown with the drive and the kiss off the glass, and he'll go to the line to make it a 3-point play or at least have a chance. Brown with 4, and the lead is back to 5, matching the biggest of the opening quarter for SC. Daquise Brown started last season at Great Crossing, transferred, took a long time for him to become eligible, finally did in time for the 42nd District playoffs. Makes the free throw. He joined the football team late in the preseason and made a huge impact in the passing game for Andrew Hickey and Coach Jim McKee and the Cards.
And huge impact here, played about 2 minutes and have 5 points.
That's what he does. He is one of those special kind of athletes.
Good defense on the ball right there. Beautiful.
Miles, but they got rid of it and found their man inside. It's Sam Glass for his second bucket of the quarter, 15-11. Now Micah Glenn back with it. Kicks it out to Mosby. Mosby thought about a deep three. He will dish it off to Moody.
They need to stay active down here and just keep moving.
Brown tried to take it at 2 Eagles, and he gets bailed out by a foul.
Brown doesn't have a whole lot of problem getting into the paint, Cal.
No. Levi White on the contact. No, Brown to Glenn, dribbles it north of the arc, now spins at the elbow and gets it to Moody.
See, I think they need ball screens and movement. See how they're stagnant right. Well, I know it's under a minute and we're probably maybe trying to play for 1.
Probably a little early for that, but you never know.
Yeah,
just be patient here against, as you said, tough half-court defense for Eastern. Now Mosby with a strong take.
Love seeing that, Cal. Love seeing that.
Mosby with 6-point lead once again.
And that will open up his outside 3-point game if he does. He just aggressive with the ball and gets into the paint.
Nice spin and a nice dish. And Mosby with the bailout foul that turns into a chance for a 3-point play.
And that all starts with being able to get the ball into the lane. I know Coach Glenn has a rule this year. The ball gets into the paint, you're coming out. You cannot get beat to the middle, and that's what's happening right now. The buckets that they've gotten, they've come from penetration.
That was a nice dish from Owen Shee to Sam Locke. They're clearly focused on Shee. Shee has not scored in this half. He, with the name Shee, has not scored. That's confusing. This is boys basketball. Scott County and Eastern. He misses the free throw, and the rebound comes down to Mosby. 4-point lead and the ball for the Cards. Final 30 seconds of this opening period. Facing the Eagles out of Eastern from Louisville. Brown to Mosby. Now Daquise Brown with it. Brown dishes to Mosby. They will play for the final shot here. 5 seconds, 4 seconds.
Nice.
Mosby with the floater.
Atta baby.
Nick Mosby with 8 in this first period, and you've got a 19-13 lead for Scott County. Nick Mosby with 8, Daquise Brown with 5, Glenn, Gallagher, and Christopher all with 2.
You will be shooting at half court for the Jersey Mike's half court shot.
They put that on the board. No, now the board's malfunctioning again. I believe that, but what certainly counted as it went in long before the buzzer. Here are our stats. Scott County 8 for 10 from the field, not bad.
That's not bad at all.
They've turned it over 3 times. They have gone 3 for 3 from the line. The scoreboard now, they fix it.
I don't know if you're 8 for 10 and say that you're on. Well, they're up 6 points right now. I thought they were only up 4. I was pleased with that quarter. There's a couple easy buckets for Eastern, Cal, but I'm sure that's from Scott County's overplaying and their aggressive defense. So if they cut down on the easy shots for Eastern, I'm liking this.
The thing I like about Scott County is they've done it all inside the arc. They haven't settled for a bunch of bad threes. In fact, they've only taken 1.
Christopher's one. That was it. Exactly right.
This is a team that's certainly highly predicated on the 3. At least they were last year.
Right.
Daquise Brown, I'll bring it up for the Cards to start the second quarter. We've got a whistle and
going to call it illegal.
An offensive foul, illegal screen.
And you're going to get those. The way Scott County, what I do like, Cal, you're going to get some of those, but they're moving and screening. They're not stagnant. They move and screen. They're going to get the guys who can score the correct positions to score.
4th turnover for the Cardinals here. First opening seconds of the second quarter. They lead by 6. Eastern with it. There is a deep 3 that's off the back of the rim, no good.
Way to go after it.
By Moody.
Great rebound by Moody right there.
Sam Glass, missed the 3 there for Eastern. Now Glenn with it. Finds Mosby. Brown with a little finger fake, and then he drives and then throws it away, trying to find Moody. Back comes Eastern.
Cal, I think if Brown can stop and go up off the glass right there, it'd be a lot better than getting himself in trouble.
Corner 3 is no good again from Glass. Rebound comes down to Brown.
Need to capitalize on this end. Eastern settling for 3s and long shots. We need to capitalize.
Glenn, drive, floater, off the glass, wild shot, no good. Rebounded Eastern. Jack Donan has it for the Eagles. We are more than a minute into this quarter, no scoring.
Mosby doesn't need to pick up 2.
No, he is playing with that 1 foul.
Right.
It's not a quality one, to say the least. And there's a 3 as Donan buries it from the left wing to cut the lead in half. 19-16 Cards. Minute and a half gone, second quarter. Cards have gone a little stagnant.
Yeah, they have. They need to. Everybody's trying to get into the lane on their own. They need to keep screening and moving and then get to the lane that way.
Christopher.
They go individual, it's tough. Here we go.
Glenn with it, finds Mosby at the elbow, inside, misses, tipped around, rebounded Christopher. Eastern had a couple of sets of hands on it. There's a walk from Micah Glenn.
Yeah, Micah needs to tone it down just a little bit. He's in that mode, Cal, that we talked about the last couple of years. When he over penetrates it, he gets out of control, and he needs to back it down a little bit and be able to pull up and hit the little jumper. And I think Pops is going to tell him about it a little bit here. Give him a little break.
He will sit down. Coming back into the game is Miles. So you've got Miles, Moody, Brown, Mosby, and Christopher on the court for the Cardinals. 6 minutes to play in the half. Eastern with the ball, down by 3. Picking up the dribble on the wing is number 2, Carter. There's the drive and kick along the baseline, trap. Now they'll continue to play pass with it on the perimeter. A foul on the floor as Carter drew the contact.
Yep, and there's the straight line drive down the middle there, Cal, that they just can't have.
It's going to be a bonus situation, as I believe that is the 7th foul of the half on Scott County. It is. It's the first personal on Moody. To the line is Talon Carter. He has yet to score this evening. 5:43 remaining second quarter. He'll have one to get the second. Makes the first. He'll have the bonus. 19-17. Cards have basically led it all the way. Perhaps a tie or two early and a couple of lead changes in the opening minutes, but then it's been all Scott County by as many as 6. Noah Gallagher checks in for Eli Moody. Cards have not scored in the second quarter. And the second free throw is missed. Christopher rebound. 2-point lead for SC. Christopher with it. Drive, kick to Miles on the left side. Now finds Mosby.
I think they need to get back into that where they had the flex offense there, where Mosby caught it and was able to get in the lane. Here we go right here.
Smaller lineup here for the Cards. Very guard-oriented. Coming in and gambling on the steal and getting the foul. Sam Locke for Eastern. Trying to jump the route there and run it back for a pick 6 and committed the foul.
Committed a foul.
SC with it.
Bad
Brown.
mismatch here.
He has a mismatch. He will take it to the hole and up and under for the bucket. His third field goal of the half. He leads the Cards with 7 points. I'm sorry, Mosby has 8.
And I'm okay with him being individual, Cal, because of the fact he's got a mismatch bad on him right now.
Rush shot for Shee, who has yet to score, but he'll take it away as Brown tried to force the pass to the other end.
And he tried to throw it to the wrong man on that who wouldn't have been able to do anything with it had he caught it, Cal. He's got to recognize that as a point guard.
3-point attempt from deep on the left wing. Good catch and shoot, but off the back rim. Rebound Eastern up strong with it again. Off the rim, no good. Third opportunity. This time goes down for Shee. That is his first bucket of the half. 21-19.
Not a body put on anybody right there, Cal, and you see the result of it.
Owen Shee on the board for the first time. Eastern's leading scorer in its season opener. Now the drive and dish and a bad pass by Christopher. Eastern with a chance to tie this up. 3-on-1. Bounce pass. Tough angle. Gives it up. Missed the layup. Second opportunity, and a foul and go to the line with a chance to tie is Shee.
Coach Glenn may need to get a little settle down timeout right here because things are going in the opposite direction here.
He's looking up and down the bench, thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, we scored 2 points in almost 4 minutes.
Scott County's offense has hit the wall. Some foul trouble contributing to that as he's had to run the turnstile off the bench with guys coming in that may not be used to being in certain places at certain times.
Right.
She makes the free throw, have another with a chance to get the Eagles even. They trailed by 6 at the end of the first quarter, but it is now 21-21 as Owen Shee makes them both. 4:23 to play in the half. We are all tied up.
Right here, Cal's, where you're struggling a little bit. This is where you need to run offense hard right here and get something easy. Get a foul, get to the foul line, get a layup. Be patient.
Long
There's no hurry.
offensive set. That won't hurt anybody's feelings. Christopher with it. Finds Gallagher. Now Daquise Brown.
Yeah, there's a little clear out right here.
Brown will take a deep 3. Not his shot. Missed it. And rebounded Eastern with a chance to take the lead. So the shot selection has gone downhill after an 8 for 10 start. There is a backdoor cut and an easy layup for the go-ahead bucket for Sam Locke.
And for some reason, Daquise Brown leaves his man, runs out to trap where 2 guys were already trapping and gives up a layup. Tough one to figure out there.
The defense has gone south as well in this quarter.
Yep. 10-2 run here in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, Cal. They need to stop the bleeding here a little bit.
Gone stagnant at both ends.
Yes, they have. Gambling on the defensive end for whatever reason. When they play a straight man-to-man with their defensive principles, Eastern is settling for long jump shots. When Scott County's gambling and they're trapping, they're giving up layups.
In the Class 6A football final, Male 24, Bullitt East 14, 10:35 to play in that one. Male has been in it 5 years in a row.
Wow.
And looking to add a title.
5A to follow, right?
5A, Douglas against Bowling Green. tonight at 8 o'clock to wrap up the two-day extravaganza at Kroger Field. Good one last night between Boyle County and Corbin. My goodness gracious.
Classic.
32-26. The Rebels win their 11th in the past 24 years. Talk about a dynasty.
See what we got out of a timeout here, Cal. This is always key. What do we got out of a timeout?
Usually Tim Glenn's teams do something right out of a timeout. We'll see what happens.
They missed a cut right there.
Mosby finds Brown. Brown swings it to Glenn. Glenn, they just can't. Eastern has figured out the offense here a little bit. Those cuts aren't coming free.
I just don't know how many times they're going to miss Mosby on the cut, Cal. I don't know if you're seeing that or not, but that's who you want coming off a screen.
He is available a couple of times. There's a nice bounce pass to Glenn from Brown. Glenn can't finish. Rebound Christopher. Kicks it to Mosby for an open three. In and out, no good. Eastern rebound. And a foul as Glenn tried to tie it up, and Eastern will shoot. That's the 9th team foul on the Cardinals. Next one will be a double bonus.
Yep.
1-1 here for Locke, who has 4 points. Good balance for Eastern. There's 4, a bunch of guys with 4, nobody with more than that.
I like the movement on offensive end, Cal, but if you're going to do it, you have to know. Here's a key to what Scott County's offense is hitting the shooters with the correct pass. It's just like a quarterback leading up, throwing the ball to the receiver. If you throw a shooter or somebody coming off the screen, the ball behind him, he has to do so much to catch the ball, and then that opportunity is not there anymore. And that's what's happening on our end.
Locke can't roll in the second, made the first, 24-21. So now an 11-2 run here in this quarter. Brown with it. Mosby up top, swings it to Glenn. Christopher tried to cut, now he'll come back up top to take it. Drive and kick to Glenn. Cards being forced to be patient here in the half court. Mosby, fake the pass. Now he finds Christopher. Christopher thinks about a three.
No need to panic.
Deep three from Glenn, short. Rebound chased down by Brown. Brown throws it, finds his man, fortunately, in Gallagher.
Good pass,
Gallagher
back to him.
gets it back, and there will be a foul. That's the 6th on Eastern, so it's on the floor. 2 minutes exactly to play in the half. Cards will have it underneath the basket, trailing by 3. 19 points in the first quarter, 2 here in the last 6 minutes. Brown looking, finds Glenn.
So you need to swing right here and keep going. Everybody's standing right now.
It's been a chess match here in the second quarter, and Eastern has been making all the right moves. They lead by 3 after trailing.
There he is.
By 6.
Lee.
They just can't get Mosby after that 8-point explosion early. Glenn dumps it off to Christopher for a 3, misses badly. And Brown tries to throw it off of Eastern, but Eastern picks it up on the carom. 90 seconds to play, and here come the Eagles.
We've had about 4 possessions of 4 panic shots.
Owen Shee with the spin and the floater. He has a quick 6, and it's gone from a 6-point deficit for the Louisville Eagles out of Eastern to a 5-point lead. Christopher drive to try to get the Cards off of Schneid. No good, but he'll go to the line as he draws the contact.
That's the shot, Cal, in this offense that they should be getting. They got enough guys who can turn. You got to turn the corner hard, and that's got to be a bucket, or it has to be just what Christopher is at the foul line right now.
That's where he needs to be, and that's where the Cards usually do yeoman work is
right
at the line.
But the panic long threes, I don't understand that.
Christopher makes the first, cut this to 2.
For second, number 15, Eli Moody. Number 10, Miles.
Christopher will have another. They're down 4, 26-22. Eagles, 1:04 to play. He misses the second, tried to chase his own rebound, got knocked out of the way, and Andre Clark came up with it for the Eagles. Final minute of the half. Eastern up 4 with the ball. No hurry for them. Good defense by Miles. There's a three they didn't need to take. Missed it.
There's a block out. Do you see that right there?
Mosby checked out,
Yes.
got the rebound, and will go to the line
Absolutely.
where he is pretty much an 85% performer over the years.
Nick turned when the flight of the ball in the air. He didn't look for the ball. He turned, he found the guy, and the guy had to come over his back, and he got the foul.
Super senior experience there for Nick Mosby, leading scorer on the team last year. Well over 700 points in his varsity career, so on target for that milestone if he can have a healthy, good year. And of course, I jinxed him; he missed it. Eastern with the rebound and the ball. 45 seconds to play.
Wasn't a whole lot of patience on with that free throw there, if you noticed.
Flat and short armed. SC's got some talking to do at the halftime to figure this out. They were up early. They've fallen on hard times. 30 seconds.
They got to get some buckets. I mean, some easy buckets, and I think they can.
One field goal. It came from Daquise Brown in this quarter. After going 8 for 10 to start, there is a wide open three, missed. Rebound, Christopher. Cards will be able to play for the last shot. 10
Be good,
seconds.
little momentum here. Keep going. Good goal.
Crease, hesitation, spin, stop, dish, hook.
Nice.
And good.
Don't foul. Do not foul.
And the desperation shot at the horn is no good. So the bucket by Noah Gallagher gets them within 2, 26-24 at the break.
And believe it or not, Cal, that bucket right there was the biggest bucket of the half to me, just for the mere fact that you're struggling so bad. You get a bucket before you go into the locker room. A little momentum shift.
As bad as things were going, you're only down 2 after a pretty disastrous second quarter, all things considered.
Yeah, we had a 5-point second quarter.
Only the second field goal of the quarter in the closing seconds. We'll have some stats at halftime. We'll talk about game 2 a little bit. Keith Greiser will be joining me for that one as Greg Crossing will take on Ashland Blazer. Top 10 battle. We've got the Jersey Mike's half-court shot going on here. I think this is like Jersey Mike's for a year if you make it. Sounds good to me. Oh, not close.
There'll be one more chance in the last game of the night at halftime. So stick around for the last game of the night.
Cal Scott County shooting 52.6%, and you look up and you're down. If you're shooting over 50% for a half, you probably should find yourself on the other side of that.
When you start at 80%, you have nowhere to go but down, unfortunately.
Yes, and the 9 turnovers to 3 turnovers. Scott County's got 9 turnovers to Louisville Eastern's 3. That's that's on your way to 18 turnovers. So that's a little much right now. They need to improve on that.
Mosby with 8 points, Brown with 7, Gallagher with 4, Christopher with 3, and Glenn with 2 for the total of 24. So 10 for 19, so that means they were 2 for 9 in the second period. For Eastern, good balance. She with 6, Locke with 5, Kamba and Glass with 4, Clark and Donan with 3, and Carver with 1.
Pretty balanced scoring for them. They got guys who can knock it down.
They do, in fact. They've taken a couple of ill-advised threes, but generally they're doing what they want to do, which is get the ball inside. They're patient in the half court as well. They've had a couple of back cuts that have gotten them some easy buckets, which is what Scott County was doing early.
It really was, Cal. We started breaking down defensively and giving them easy shots. When we played our straight hard red man, what Coach Glenn calls it is heat. And when they're staying in front of their man and they're playing just good hard man-to-man defense and helping out, Eastern was doing what we ended up doing, and that was taking panic three-pointers. So we're not getting to the bucket and taking panic 3-pointers, and that's when you look up and we're not, we're not defending on the defensive end and we're not scoring on the offensive end. A little bit of a bad recipe.
It is a recipe for disaster,
Yep.
or at least defeat. If you continue on that track, the good news is long way to go here,
Yes.
and only a 2-point deficit.
I think we'll be fine. I think Coach will make the adjustments in there and say, guys, we can get what we want on the offensive end. Just keep moving, screening. We can get what we want. But also, as I mentioned earlier, if you're not going to hit the man that they're looking for cutting, I mean, they've missed cutter after cutter. And I think the guys that are handling the ball aren't used to handling the ball and making those passes. And that's what it is. You got to have the right combination. You have to have a Micah Glenn looking at Nick Mosby. He knows Nick Mosby the way he's going to roll up tight off a screen. But guys that come in off the bench who aren't used to that, it's a little tougher to do.
Two statistics that are always important harbingers for Scott County that are sending mixed messages right now. They are +5 on the boards, but they are -6 in the turnover category. Is 18-13 Scott County's favor on the rebounds. Christopher and Brown with 5 apiece, Mosby with 4. But then the 9 turnovers, Christopher and Brown with 3 apiece, compared to 3 as a team for Eastern. Great Crossing will play the nightcap here on its home court against Ashland. Ashland, a winner over St. Joseph Central out of Ironton, Ohio last night in its season opener. Great Crossing beat West Jessamine by 12 on the road and then went up to Covington Catholic, lost 75-60. And I think they found what somebody told me, I think it was Chris Wilhite told me, he thinks Coach Hicks only went up to Covcath once in all his years. It's a tough place to play.
It is not only is it tough to play Covcath in Rupp Arena. Can you with their student body? Can you imagine going there? But looking at the stats there, I think they hit 11 or 12 threes. If you're hitting 11 or 12 threes in high school basketball, you're going to win some games.
And not only that, but 7 different guys hit them.
Yes.
So it's hard to play defense when you've got 7 guys that can stick a 3.
Got a bunch of CJ Fredericks again, it sounds like.
That's what they do. And they're not as big as they have been in the past.
Right.
But they've got the shooters and guys that can fill it up. Drew Ipsero is going to Miami of Ohio, and he is the real deal. He had a 30-plus point night. And
one of the big guys used to bang around in there is the best tight end in college football.
Playing on Sundays.
Oh, my goodness.
Probably next year or the year after.
Yes.
Michael Mayer.
Yes.
I tell people ask her, like, what was he like as a basketball player? I said, every bit as good as he is in football. He took up space. And
You're exactly right.
He was
Smart.
a troublemaker.
He was.
Yes, he was. He wasn't a D1 basketball player, but he was a great high school basketball player. So, I mean, the beat goes on for Great Crossing. They're going to play Ashland tonight, another top 10 team. You've got the Billy Hicks Classic, which if you look at the draw, it's similar to last year. We could have a Battle of the Birds in the final, but there's some trapdoors. Scott County potentially, they got to start with Lafayette, who's already got a win over Lincoln County, a Final Four team from last year. And then you've got potentially Frederick Douglass in the second game.
And the thing about Lafayette, Cal, from year to year, you never know. I think was it last year or the year before that we had them down a running clock?
Yeah. I
mean, it was ridiculous. And then they'll come back again and beat last night. They come out with this group and they beat Lincoln County.
They've got a new coach, which always throws a wrench in.
Correct.
You just never know. But and on Great Crossing side of the bracket, you've got one of the state's prolific scorers in Jacob Meyer. So from Holy Cross Covington.
Yep. And he can absolutely get off the floor as well. I enjoy watching him play.
There are some players to watch. You want to be here. In case you haven't heard or read, it is now the Billy Hicks Classic presented by Bluegrass Orthopedics. The other big announcement in the offseason, you got both an 8-team boys bracket and a full 8-team girls bracket.
Well, now that you got the 2 facilities, of course, I'm can probably say some things that I should not say. I love the Toyota Classic. It should be the 27th year of the Toyota Classic, played in one gym, and just like this is Jersey Mike's. This is Great Crossing's deal. I think Scott County has their deal as well. But anyway, it's as you mentioned, 8 good teams, both bracket, both boys and girls, and it should be very interesting. And I thought maybe Scott County and Great Crossing could meet in the semis, but you're saying finals only.
I believe it's set up every year, that
Which
they
it
would
should
only
be.
play each other in the
Yes.
finals if they got there. I'd have to look now at the bracket, but of course, what I thought I read on the bracket the other night about the finals next week turned out to be different. For some reason, they've scheduled the girls' final apparently at Scott County, or rather the boys' final at Scott County and the girls' final here, which makes no sense.
Right.
You want the crowd to be.
Sure.
You want the girls to be able to enjoy that crowd as well. So.
Well, it's hard enough when you have games going simultaneously in both gyms as well. That's kind of tough.
Yeah,
but I do love that it is the Billy Hicks Classic. I've been waiting on something like that, to name something after Coach Hicks. I mean, just the overall winningest coach, in Kentucky basketball.
One would hope that when there is a new high school that the court will be named
Yes,
after Billy
absolutely.
as well, if not the whole gym.
Yes.
Great Crossing will play Franklin County on Wednesday night in the opener, and then if they win that, they'll play either Covington Holy Cross or John Hardin. Then you have Lafayette and Scott County. The winner of that will take on the winner of Douglas or Louisville Moore, and then the winners would meet in the championship.
That John Hardin team, that's another one you can get. They can be Final Four contenders,
perennial.
Oh my gosh,
16 challenger there.
Yes.
More, again, as we've said about if you're from Louisville, you're legit.
Yes. Yep.
So I think arguably it's the best field in years.
It is. It used to be, of course, we used to have the perennial powers from out of state, years ago when the Toyota Classic basically first started. They were bringing in.
Last one I remember was that Christian school from Houston back in 2016-17 that brought it. I mean, that was by all.
And if I'm not mistaken, we knocked them off in the semis or the finals.
Beat them in the final, and they were some upset about it. Their point guard was a kid named Mack, who I forget what school. He's bounced around at some D1 schools, but he is a D1 player. So, and they had big tall guys in the middle. That was as good a win as I've seen from Scott County in my time, because that was honestly like a beach ball type of win.
Yes.
In the Toyota Classic. So it's been a while since they've had that kind of out-of-state competition. I believe, Hargrave's undergrad team played in it one year.
They did. They played.
I think it might have been that same year.
Well, they put on a dunking exhibition is what they did.
Yeah, they brought their prep team, but they also brought their undergrad team to play in the actual.
Yeah, I think I'm talking
bracket.
about A-Dub's prep team is what I was talking about.
Yeah. They were legit.
Wow. Yeah, they weren't bad.
A-Dub and EKU lost at James Madison last night. They dropped to 4-3 on the season. Michael Marino and Cooper Robb with 9 points apiece. But their A-Sun schedule will be kicking off around Christmas time, New Year's, and they're looking like one of the better teams in that conference this year.
I think I'm going up Wednesday evening to see them at Northern.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, it will be a good one.
Marquez Warwick is for real.
I saw where he had 45.
45 and a double overtime win the other night. He's hit 1,000 for his career already. Seems like he's only been there a couple of years, but probably with COVID, it's more like 3 or 4.
I think I remember a couple conversations with you when we played Henry Clay, and we said, does the guy miss? He had that step back left-handed just sweet.
We knew then that he was he was under the radar. I thought
he scored at will.
I felt like he was a higher level, just as I feel about Deshaun Jackson, who's at EKU. I feel like when that kid reaches the ceiling of his potential, that he's going to be a special player.
And I think Warwick, the only thing was his just sleight of frame. I mean, there was nothing very thin, and I think that kept him from the major D1 level.
Yep. I think you are right. The Eagles of Eastern will open the second half with the ball, the possession arrow in their favor. The scoreboard is in their favor right now. They're up 26-24. Bounce pass to Shee, trying to lob it over the head of McGrath, who picked it off. Now he'll have to fight for it, and they'll call Eastern for a touch foul.
That's the way to come in and contribute immediately after having 2 fouls and being on the bench, almost the whole first half. McGrath has to come in and impose his will and really, again, on the offensive end. Screen, cut. Let's just see what we open up with here on our offensive end.
He was a missing person for sure.
Yes.
Owen Shee picked up the frustration foul for Eastern. Nice backdoor pass, but it's intercepted. Good anticipation by Eastern there. They were trying to find Mosby, and Shee picked it off, or rather Locke picked it off. Eastern in the black uniforms with the dark blue numbers. Hard to see from up here on the third level, but we're trying our best. Eastern with it, guarded by Mosby, is Clark. Clark with a strong take, off the glass, no
The
good.
long arm.
Tough rebound for Nick Mosby.
That's pretty good defense there by Nick. Good recovery.
And another ill-advised pass that Christopher gets away with as the bailout foul comes in from Sam Glass. He tried to force it into McGrath on the left wing.
And, that's 2 quick fouls for Louisville Eastern.
2-zip in that category. 7:09 to play, third quarter. Cards can tie or go ahead. They were up by as many as 6 in the first half. And foul trouble and some turnovers ran amok. Micah Glenn with it. Scott County having to play a patient half-court game here.
It just takes them a few minutes to get into their offense. I think it's not like they don't know what they're going to run.
Mosby directing traffic, thought about a 3 a couple of times. Now he'll take it, kick it. Three-pointer from the left wing is off the rim, no good. But McGrath with the strong rebound, can't get it to fall, and rebounded by Locke.
Yeah, that's something there McGrath just can't do. He needed to kick that one back out. He's not the type of player who can make that move and score right there.
Moody took the first 3, and McGrath couldn't get the finish. Now Moody gets the steal. SC again on the run. The pass was deflected by Locke. It will stay with the Cardinals. 6:23 to go, third period.
Cal, I think we see where J.Z. Middleton's ball handling comes in and his passing, not to mention what a really knockdown shooter he is.
Jay-Z's not even dressed today. He's
right.
in a hoodie on the sideline.
Yeah, it's just tough for Scott County even to advance the ball up floor because, again, the ball's ending up in the hands of guys who just aren't good ball handlers.
Mosby got bumped off the ball. Now he'll go get it in the backcourt. No violation because it was off of Eastern. Cards again with a chance to tie or take the lead. Moody gets stopped on his way to the basket. Finds Glenn for a deep NBA 3 off the back rim. No good. Rebound comes down to Eastern. Chasing it before it went out of bounds is Glass. Eastern drive, kick, open 3 for the Eagles is short. Strong rebound, though. Offensive, they'll get a second chance. That one's off the mark as well. Fighting on the glass. There was contact between Christopher and Glass, and they will get Christopher, I think, for the foul.
Yeah, it's got Lamarion.
Oh, they're going to get McGrath.
They're going to get McGrath, and McGrath did not block out right there, Cal. And I was watching the whole play, and the guy just beat him to the ball, and it can't happen when you're on the defensive end. Man, you ball is how it has to be.
McGrath picking up his third. It's not what it says on the board, but that's what it is in reality. That's why he was out most of the first half of the 2.
That is his third.
Drive and kick and 3 and good.
That's the 4th 3-point opportunity in that one possession, and that's a killer.
Sam Locke makes it good finally, and the Eagles are up 5, matching their biggest lead. McGrath, Glenn, cut Mosby. He's going to get fouled. Probably a bailout foul by Locke, as it was an awkward angle from Mosby. Kind of forced that shot, but he'll go to the line.
You took the words out of my mouth. Mosby had already committed to shoot that shot and got bailed out.
Nick Mosby, I'm not going to say anything about his free throw percentage.
Is a good free throw shooter after it goes through the net.
That's his first point since the closing seconds of the first quarter. He's got 9 on the night. That leads the Cardinals. They trail by 4, make it in and out, still 4. Rebound, Locke.
He's moving off the line right there, Cal. If the ball was in there, Nick was already backing up instead of staying put and following through.
Uncharacteristically, Mosby has missed 2 out of 3. Eastern with it, leading by 4. 4:45 remaining, third quarter. Defensive struggle at the Jersey Mike's Classic. Drive and kick. Eastern reset. Head fake and a bailout foul on the floor.
Cannot get beat off the dribble. I think that's what.
Bailed himself out with that foul as he was beaten badly. It's Moody on the grab. Clock stops at 4:35.
Tristan got beat off the dribble there, and that's what Coach Glenn is. That's what the substitution's all about. You just cannot continue to get beat on straight line drives. Obviously, Eastern's going to shoot the 3. Let them shoot 3s. Let them continue. Not contested 3s. Don't get me wrong. Not open 3s.
Spin shot from just inside the foul line is good from Owen Shee. 8 points for Shee. 6-point lead, largest of the night for the Eagles. Glenn, foul on the floor against Eastern. Clock stops at 4:23 in the third.
Cal, if you've noticed, opening game is not getting a whole lot of offensive production out of Micah. That's going to have to pick up.
No,
now,
he had almost nothing against Wolf County till the end.
You're exactly right. Right now, he's done nothing offensive end. That doesn't mean he's not playing hard and playing defensively.
McGrath went up strong after almost losing the ball. He'll draw the contact and go to the line. Yeah, he had a great preseason, and it's just been very quiet here. And it's not that he hasn't gotten open shots.
You got to think, how much does an injury play mentally with anybody, not just Micah? You know, I mean, you're thinking, okay, is it going to happen again? You know, when I talk to a coach about it, he says, you know what, he really does not. He's past that mentally. Plays hard. And again, there's so many things that Micah can do, but the bottom line is we got to ring the bell. You got to score.
Lamarion McGrath gets his first 2 points of the night at the line to cut it to 31-27. 4:17 to play, 4:15 now, third quarter. Brown guarding Carver. Carver spins, drives, loses the handle, but there's going to be a foul on the Cardinals.
And that's something you have to, right there, you got a left-handed kid going down the right side right there. There should be no fouls. You got to just play him straight up. There's not much he could have done, what Carver could have done with the ball right there.
Will be under play for the Eagles.
Good job.
Deflected by Mosby, picked off by Brown, ahead to McGrath. Gets it stripped, but it will stay with the Cards. Nice block by Owen Shee. Owen Shee, leading scorer on this senior-dominated team. He has 8 tonight. Locke has 8 as well.
Again, there's the uncomfortable situation for McGrath right there, having to handle the ball in the open court and get to the bucket. He's a catch and shoot or put back on there's a good move by Micah. He has to be able to score right there.
Brown lost it, threw it away. Glenn fights for it, though. Drive, up and under, can't get it to fall. And is he going to get called for the foul on the way back down to earth? Yes, they're going to get Micah on that one. So the fourth team foul for the Cards this half. Eagles have 5. We're just over 4 minutes into this second half. 31-27, 3:48 to play, third quarter. Eastern over Scott County.
Not a bad move there on the Micah substitution there, Cal. He needs just a little break sometimes to settle in.
Cards with 8 points in the last 12 minutes. Foul line jumper is short by Eastern. Tip, though, and fighting for the rebound is Shee to save it for the Eagles. Floater, no good.
Another
getting his own
rebound.
miss. And throwing it off of the Cards.
Oh, man.
Is Sam Glass.
Yep. Now, that's 3 opportunities there with no bucket. Now they're inbounding the ball. Usually the basketball gods are going to say, okay, you're going to score right here.
Finally made that 3 on the 4th try on one possession earlier this quarter.
And
spin and the miss and another almost offensive rebound.
Yes.
Then McGrath comes up with it off the floor. 3:15 to play, third quarter. Cards need to get something brewing here offensively. They're down 4, and they have been struggling for a quarter and a half. There's Mosby from the right elbow. Can't get it to roll in. Rebound, Shee.
I'm okay with that because that's the man who we need to get off the snide.
That's his shot and his time to step up.
He's just not being aggressive enough on the offensive end. He can score going to the bucket because of his length, and he can knock down that 3. I've always said that about Nick Mosby. If he'd get more offensive aggression to him, sky's the limit.
Missed by Shee, rebound by Brown, but threw it away, and just too many turnovers for Q today. As he was trying to anticipate the move there from his teammate along the baseline and just threw it behind him. Cards, the door's been open. The Eagles have not been setting the world on fire here.
Yeah, I won't say this is one of the best Louisville Eastern teams I've ever seen, put it that way.
3 and 4 shots per possession. There's a steal for Brown to balance the ledger a little bit.
I don't know, and the thing about it is why he would hold that up right there.
You had numbers.
Right.
Now a throwaway.
That's what happens.
And Christopher will come in with a hard foul to stop the drive to the basket.
So we've scored 8 points since the first quarter.
It's been a pretty gross third period. The second period was nothing to write home about. But yes, in roughly 11 and a half minutes of basketball, the Cards have scored 8 points. That's not going to get it done against anyone.
No, it's not.
First free throw is good, barely even disturbed the net from Talon Carver. That's his second point of the night. Eagles up 5. Their largest lead has been 6 on a couple of occasions in this quarter. They'll try to match it here.
And keep it positive, Cal. I mean, you look up and, you're down you're down 5 points, and as you use the word gross, it's been gross.
And that is off of Tristan Christopher. Just too many second, third, and fourth opportunities here for Eastern in the third quarter.
Should be down probably 15-20 right now is what they should be down.
And good work on the out-of-bounds play to get the ball to Donan for an easy layup. Largest lead of the night for Eastern is 7 at 34-27. Daquise Brown with it. Drive up and under. Can't get it to fall. Rebound Eastern. Sam Locke. Up ahead. She stops. Mosby guards him. Blocks it.
Good defense by
Rebound
Nick right there.
Christopher.
Go transitions.
Christopher dribbling all through all kinds of peril there. Now picks it up and finds Brown for the reset. Cards need a bucket or 2 or 3.
This is where we need, I think, ball screen big time for Nick right here to get him going downhill towards the bucket. There's a good Misty. See, again, a missed opportunity there with a man wide open.
Brown, Christopher, thought about a 3.
There
Mosby
you go.
Getting held, but
there
he gets to the
you go.
for
Thank
the easy
you.
Floater.
Thank you. It's there every time down court.
11 points for Mosby. First Cardinal in double figures. They're down 5. Drive Carver. No. Rebound. Brown. Minute to go.
Same thing, guys. Same thing.
Chance to get it to a 1-possession game. Mosby faked the 3. Now goes. Gets it blocked. Brown recovers. Brown the drive off the glass and in.
Nice.
Daquise Brown now has 9 points. They get it to within 3.
Now I think this is where Daquise needs to really ball hawk right here and make them don't foul. Just get after this. Just get after Carver hard. And that's what he's doing right now. And you see the difference.
She won't drive against Mosby. He'll pull it out. 30 seconds.
She's a nice player.
Now it's Glass. Finds Carver.
Good defensive stand here, Cal. If they get one good momentum.
Eastern's going to play for 1, it appears. 12 seconds.
Don't foul, Daquise. Do not foul. Good.
Deep 3 from She is no good. Rebound bounces around to Brown. He will fire it at the buzzer just off the window. But the Cards are in business. They're down 3 with 8 minutes to play. 34-31.
And Cal, it all extends from, again, running great offense right there and getting Nick Mosby a bucket right there. And then it turns up your energy on a defensive end. They had a good defensive stand right there. And, again, the big Mo has shifted to the Card side.
Mosby and Brown trying to start the comeback. Thank you for the stats. After starting the game 8 for 10, Scott County has missed 14 of its last 18 shots. They're 42.9% for the game. They're holding Eastern to 33.3%. Cards have turned it over 12 times while forcing 7 out of the Eagles. Rebounds still +2 for the Cardinals. Mosby with 11 points, Brown with 9. Nobody else with more than 3 for Scott County. She with 8, Locke with 8 for the Eagles. One of these teams will stay unbeaten and be thankful to get through it. The other will suffer its first loss of the season here at the end of week 1. We'll find out in 8 minutes.
This first 3 minutes right here, Cal, very important to Scott County. Very important. Coming out of the huddle, getting the ball back after a good defensive stand. It's like getting the kickoff in the second half after scoring before halftime.
Double possession sort of situation.
Right.
Even though Eastern had that last shot, Scott County defended it well.
There's a cutter.
They're going to call an offensive foul. Is it on Daquise Brown. He's looking at everybody incredulously like it was called on him. His second of the game, and the Cards' sixth of the half. 7:40 to play in regulation. Eastern up 3 with the ball.
Micah playing just good, solid defense right there. Has to find the ball, stay on help side there. It's where his help comes in. Good help, Micah. That's great.
Tough
tough,
shot
right.
from the right baseline. Goes down by Sam Glass. He has 6, and Eastern's up 5. Mosby guarded by Shee. Mosby spin at the foul line in traffic. Got doubled down on there as some help coming in for Shee in the form of Levi White.
But can you see the aggressiveness now of Nick? And I think it makes our whole game, our whole offensive end that much better when he's aggressive.
7:04 to play. Brown looking. Can't find anybody. Now he tries to bounce it to Glenn and right to an Eagle. White going the other way for the easy layup and the 7-point lead. They're missing J.Z. Middleton today out there.
Yes,
We talked about his ball handling and his passing.
Big time. A solid point guard. It just kills when he's not in there.
Glenn going to take a 3. Misses. Rebound.
Oh, wow.
Good aggressive rebound for Brown, but can't get the second opportunity to fall. And it's a 3-possession game, and Eastern's ball with 6.5 minutes to play. Shee in and out.
Rebound.
Eastern
Offensive
gets
board.
another offensive board. Baseline drive, kicks it out to White for a 3 that could be the dagger. No, but a rebound again for Shee. Eastern gets to reset. Drive through traffic and an easy layup and a flex. And a timeout, Scott County. Owen Shee with 10 points.
Yep.
Eastern with its largest lead of the night.
It's just counting what it is. It's just basics. As spoke pregame and spoke even after that, you learn how to block out at an early age. You have to. That's just what you do. A shot goes up and you're on defensive end. You turn and block not only your man or anybody in your area out. And it's just not happening because they're getting easy rebounds. Not that they're fighting and having contested rebounds. They're getting easy rebounds.
Just not the free-flowing offense that we saw averaging 80-plus points early in the season. Georgia leads LSU 35-17, 7:59 to go third quarter. For those of you that are watching us and not cheating and switching over to that, try to keep you updated. TCU went down in overtime to Kansas State.
Great game.
Make some Ohio State and Alabama fans hopeful.
Yep.
USC losing last night could open the door for one or both of those teams.
I think it does. I think it totally does.
I think Ohio State and Alabama are the third and fourth best teams. Whether the committee has the guts to pull the trigger on that, I don't know. Scott County ball down 9. They've got to put something together in a hurry. They have 12 points in the last 2+ quarters.
Good pass.
Nice
Straight up, Nick.
backdoor cut from Mosby. He can't get it to fall, but he'll draw the contact. Christopher with a nice look.
Cal, did you see when Nick grabbed it and kind of went up and hesitated at the top? And I just think there's a lot. If he's more aggressive on that, I think he lays the ball in. I don't know if there's not a lot of people that's going to block Nick's shot. He's 6'4" and he's very long.
Just got the word that NFHS having some camera issues. They're recalibrating it. So hopefully you're listening to us still at newsgraphic.com because that's the only place where you're going to get this. Or such as it is right now, Scott County is trailing, and Mosby has missed an uncharacteristic number at the line today, 3 out of 5. It's an 8-point game, still doable, but time's a wasting. 5:34, 40-32 Eagles.
Definitely going to have to start, if we can score a bucket, press.
Bad shot there. Eastern didn't need to take, and rebound Christopher. Glass forced it. Mosby off balance. He's going to go to the line.
Good, Nick. Good.
At some point, he's going to start getting in a rhythm here and getting some of these freebies, and that's your best friend right now. The clock is stopped.
And and Cal, I really think it comes even in the first half, as many times as I was calling out, that missing him over and over again as he's coming off of screens. And it takes the right, again, Jay-Z Middleton can do that. Micah can do it. It takes the right person handling the ball to distribute the passes.
Mosby rolls in the first free throw for his 13th point of the game. The rest of the team has a total of 20. And the Cards trail by 7, make it 6 as Mosby makes both. Badly needed, 40-34.
And here's the pressure. They need more pressure right here. See if Eastern can handle the ball. There's a trap.
White almost threw it away. Now another ill-advised shot, but she banks it in from the foul line.
The glass.
The bank is open.
Yes,
It's
it was.
6:30 on a Saturday night. Deep three from Glenn. No, probably not what the Cards needed there. 4:48 to go.
Would it have been beautiful had it landed,
yes,
right?
That's one of those no, yes type shots. If
Good
it goes
shot.
in.
Right.
And a timeout for the Eagles out of Louisville. And they are coached. What is the gentleman's name? David Henley.
David Henley, yep.
They had kind of an up and down year last year. Again, we've said it a couple of times, but your record can be deceiving if you're out of that region.
Oh,
and
very
one
much
of those
so.
2 regions
Very much so.
in that city. (42-34) with 4:39 to play. Coming up, Great Crossling and Ashland Blazer, right around 7:30 or thereabouts. The Tomcats coming in at 1-0. The Warhawks at 1-1. Both consensus top 10 teams in the preseason in this
I bet the
beautiful Commonwealth of Kentucky.
I bet the Tomcats will travel well. That's a community there that loves their basketball, and they've been rewarded the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
they are
had a
good.
run. Of
Oh
course,
man,
new regime with the coaching change in the preseason.
Yep.
Not their decision.
Nope.
But that's what happened, and they will move on. And there is a left-handed jumper that's no good.
Now there's a push that was not called.
And a rebound for the Cardinals, badly needed by Moody. 3-possession game. They can get it to 2 here. 4:10 to play.
See what we're doing to get Nick involved right here. You have to. Hard cuts.
Christopher trying to cut. Now it's Moody. Finds Christopher for
One
an
time.
open 3. No. Rebound, White. And not the team in white.
The guy name.
Levi White of Eastern. Glass and Locke playing pass. She spins away. Rolls it off the rim, no good. Rebound, Christopher. Cards with it. 3:35 to go, stolen away.
She's just crafty. He really is. You can tell he's an experienced upperclassman.
Owen Shee with 14 points, 6 of them coming in this 4th quarter. And it's a 10-point lead, largest of the evening. Now we've got a timeout for an untied shoe or a brace, an ankle brace that's coming undone. Cards, they need more out of McGrath, 2 points. They need more out of Glenn, 2 points. Got nothing out of Moody tonight after a double-digit game against Wolfe County. It's been the Mosby and Brown show pretty much, and a lot of guys struggling to get open.
Well, as you see, there's 34 points, and you're not going to win many scoring 34 points.
You don't see too many Scott County games at that level. Mosby going to take a deep 3, and now they're just settling for what they've got to do. Time's running out. Under 3 minutes now. Mosby with an air ball. Eastern's going to have a happy drive back down I-64, it would appear. 2:45 to go, and they lead by double digits. She drives, stop, in traffic, draws the contact, lays it up and in, and this one's over, folks.
Yep.
Owen Shee will have a chance for a 3-point play. That's a dagger. Cards will go into the Billy Hicks Classic off of a pretty disheartening loss and have a couple of days to reload for Lafayette. And as we said, the Generals are no joke. They
Nope.
have already beaten one of last year's Final Four in Lincoln County.
And I bet they're licking their chops they always are licking their chops to play Scott County.
They lost one in the city last night. I can't remember, but it was, no, maybe it was Madison Central. There was another block and another rebound for the Eagles. Back cut, intercepted by Brown.
Good hands by Brown.
4-on-2. Brown finds Christopher. Drop off and a layup for Gallagher. Gallagher with 6 points. Clock will stop for a timeout. Tim Glenn with 2:12 to play. 47-36. Lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor.
I am your neighbor.
We might as well enjoy the music because the basketball has been a struggle. 19 points in the first quarter tonight for Scott County and 17 ever since. With 2:12 to play, not what we expected after that quick start. But Eastern certainly adjusted, defended well, forced SC out of its comfort zone in just about every conceivable area.
Well, and I will say,
worked harder on the offensive glass.
Right, and I will say SC knocked SC out of all their comfort areas by just not doing the basics, making the correct pass, blocking out, just the basic stuff, getting beat off the dribble, playing. If they play straight defense, Scott County has always been, because they play so hard, they got good defensive principles, but when they try to overplay, they gamble, they get themselves in trouble, especially when you don't have a Michael Moreno underneath the bucket or any type of shot blocker.
Eastern ball, clock is ticking. And reach in from Mosby. Stops the clock at 2:08, but Eastern will shoot 1-1. Both teams with 8 fouls. Stay with us. We'll have Great Crossing in Ashland after this. Keith Greiser will be joining me.
It's going to be a good one.
Other basketball today, Georgetown College men ranked number 9 in NAIA routed Pikeville by 16 at home, 88-72.
Wow.
They were up by 30 at the half and cruised to the victory.
One of those days, or as you Pike that down?
I think it's just one of those days. I thought that
Wow.
was going to be a good ball game. The women's game was kind of a bloodbath. Pikeville came out on top in that 47-44, I think the final one. 2 free throws to pad the lead for Sam Locke. He has 10 on the night to join Shee in double figures. Daquise Brown, he's going to get fouled on the way to the hoop. At the 2:02 mark, Brown will shoot free throws.
That's Brown being aggressive, as I like to see that as he gets to the bucket.
Pick our MVP. It's going to be Owen Shee.
Definitely. Who's having a 16-point night?
Yeah,
nice player.
He has 17, and he has 9 of those 17 in this fourth quarter. He's done a lot of other little things well. Brown makes the second of 2 free throws. That puts him at 10 on the night, joining Mosby in double digits, but that's it for the Cards. They trail by a dozen with 2 minutes left.
No need to foul now.
Trying to get the ball back, but Eastern playing keep away and patty cake. Trapped in the corner. They find a way to get rid of it. Good ball movement. Shee in traffic, kicks it out. Had an open 3, but wisely didn't take it. Down to 90 seconds. Eastern fans can feel it.
Keeping it hot. The enemy for Eastern is just the clock.
That's quite a dive there by Carver, as it was a fairly hard foul by Brown, but nothing like the reaction. Carver
not at all. Brown's pretty strong, but not that strong.
1:21 the time. Billy Hicks Classic. Wednesday night is the boys tournament. Scott County will play Lafayette at home. That game, you can see all those games on NFHS. We won't be on the mic until Saturday. If then, and that's hopefully
has to be one of the local
hopefully
teams
one
on,
or
right?
both will be in it. We anticipate the odds are, of course, last year we said that, and neither one made
Right.
it. So we would have to think that one or the other would certainly have a shot. Mosby stepped back, passed it up, gave it to Brown. Brown will drive, kick it over to the corner. In and out from Gallagher.
I think Scott County is without a three-pointer, Cal.
I think they are sans three. You are correct, sir.
Wow. Wonder the last time that was.
Probably the 12th of never. Certainly not in my time do I remember it. That's a wow. I have to go back and look to see the last time they were held under 40.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, they just need a 3 to get over that hump.
Yeah.
They were held to that level by some teams in the postseason over the years. Trinity.
Cal, we've done some nights where Scott County is lights out, and we're like, wow, they're shooting the ball, and we've.
It's just that can be taken away from you at a moment's
yes.
notice.
Well, 8 for 10 in the first quarter.
And then
they
outscored. If they don't get a point here, they will have outscored themselves in the first quarter for the rest of the game. It's 19-18 in that category. And here is an easy layup for Jake Donan. This one got out of hand quickly, folks. 54-37. Brown, the drive, lays it in. Daquise Brown with 12 on the night. And a steal. Brown got it to Glenn. Turnaround 3 is short. Fighting for the rebound is Mosby. Yes.
Cal Michaels, if you notice, he's speaking of legs, everything is short. I mean, it's not even coming close.
I wonder if he's been feeling 100%
right.
or you just don't know.
That's just not. Usually he's got live legs. He's, very active.
Middleton's situation may not be the illness anymore. I noticed the other night he had a wrap on his hand, and today he's got a glove protecting it on the sideline. So I don't know what the long-term prognosis is there, but I hope it's nothing serious. This team needs that extra threat to spread the floor. Cards will be 2-1 on the week and the season. They'll face Lafayette on Wednesday night at home.
That should be a good one.
I think so.
Well, it depends on what Scott County team shows up here, Kev. This one shows up, it probably won't be a good one. And I'm sure that's nothing that Coach Glenn, Coach Wilhite would tell you the same thing. If this team comes out and looks like we're going to be without Jay-Z again, right, unless he's okay by Wednesday.
Yeah, well, you can only hope. Cards have owned that series. I have never seen them lose to Lafayette, knocking on wood here as we speak. But even the great Michael and Coop teams, Lafayette played some. There was a barn burner. You alluded to it. It was not quite a running clock, but it was out of reach at the Classic a few years ago, and they came back and made it like a 2-point game.
Well, do you remember when when they called the foul at the end of the game?
That one too. The big man ended up getting 3 free throws. So that is, you're right. I have seen
that is a loss.
That was a loss that shouldn't have happened, but you're right. That was Tim Glenn's first
year.
That
particular referee is not allowed in the gym now to this day.
He was turned away from the basket facing his own bench, and they called a shooting foul, a 3-point shooting foul. As time runs out, we're talking about a game that happened 4 years ago with good reason, because the Cardinals took the wrong end of it today by a score of 54-41.
Wow.
The Eastern Eagles just dominated from the second quarter on. And it was a 2-point game at the half.
Well, you can't put the
Cards
ball.
will try to regroup.
Can't put the ball in the bucket at any level. You can't win.
It was ugly. It
was.
The shot selection was just off, and it was like a snowball effect.
Right.
Cards back in action on Wednesday. We'll get some final scores here. Your player of the game will be presented on the court. It is Owen Shee. They've got him for 15 points and 10 rebounds. Okay, 4 steals. 12 points and 7 rebounds for Sam Locke. Those are your double digits. 16 and 6 for Nick Mosby. 12 and 10 for Daquise Brown. 3 steals, 3 assists. 7 turnovers was a big number there. 16 to 9. That was in Eastern's favor. on the team totals, and Eastern ended up out-rebounding Scott County for the game by 1. That's not something you can do if you're Scott County.
No, but again, Cal, we've talked about this before. Situational rebounds. Situational rebounds means, yes, when you look at the final stat sheet that we just looked at, an argument, well, Eastern only out-rebounded Scott County by 1, but it was the 4 rebounds in a row that they would get and then hit a big-time three-pointer or get to the foul lines and mount up fouls on Scott County. So it's not that it's situational rebound. It's not that just that they out-rebound us by 1. Really, it looked like they out-rebound us by about 20.
Tough one for the Cards as they dropped to 2-1. The Eastern Eagles improved to 2-0. Derek's been good working with you again. We will see you soon. If it's not next Saturday,
Absolutely.
It'll be after the new year probably. But we've got all kinds of Scott County action going down the stretch, and we'll be bringing it all to you here on the Bird's Nest Broadcasting Network. For Derek Varney, for James Scoggin, for Mike Scoggin, for DT Wells, I'm Cal Oakes. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to switch over. We'll post some new links, and you can click on the Great Crossing Ashland game, which will be coming up in 25 minutes. Until then, we'll see you. My goodness gracious.